Yeah, let's move down. Let's move down to semi-limited. So Jackalope
Uh,
and Snake.
yes, no,
Oh no, they're limited. So now
so
Tatsunoko can't summon itself. It's like the
Yeah,
Zodiac Rapier
that's
thing.
so.
Just keep it at one.
to be fair, like the danger of being at one, we all kind of seen it coming.
Danger
Yeah,
Engine had its time.
Yeah.
That time was Orcust.
Hmm.
Danger Engine, I think,
Really
It
should never
didn't.
have
died.
been
It
printed.
basically died along the same time as Orcust, and I think that makes sense.
Really, if we're going
yeah.
to start off this part of the list, like I wouldn't even care about the dangers. Like the dangers were the danger monsters. We all know what they did, and we knew what they did to the game.
Yeah.
Like the things we're really kind of more talk about would be the preemptive things and hits, which is
Buster
basically
Dragon.
ABC Buster Dragon,
Yes,
totally
I don't know why. Like,
Hurrian.
Dracula, Dragon of the Ice Spire, and TG Hyper Librarian.
And Toad.
I can see why Anto, yeah. Like, I can see why like Trishula and Hyper Librarian. I can't like I don't know. I don't know if I'm missing something. I do not see the problem with ABC Dragon Buster, and I never had. I've never seen a problem with it. Like, it's a good card. You can only kind of use it like a couple of times.
I
You
mean,
know.
like, as we were saying earlier on before we started filming, I mean, even with the advent of, like, Verde Anaconda, it doesn't make ABC top tier or even that broken. Like, there was
No.
no reason to hit Dragon Buster unless, as you say, there's something that I'm missing.
Aye, like I'm in the same boat as you two. Like I don't see it either. Like I think
Like,
it could be sitting 5-3. Like yes, it was a pain in the arse, but it's not really like it was that broken.
I
Like
mean, it's the same thing as, like, if a Chimera Tech Rampage is put in front of you, it's still like,
yeah,
but it's the
ooh.
same reaction as any big, stupid
It's like,
idiot
well,
with
I'm
an
dead.
effect.
The only
Yeah.
problem being Chimera Tech
But like
Rampage
Buster,
Dragon, you seen that hit the board, you were dead essentially, because like it just wiped the board and then that was you out of the game if you didn't have an answer for it.
unless
like
you had a Veiler or a Ghost Ogre.
Hyper Librarian and
Got his ass!
Trishula, the Dragon of the Ice Spire, are there for good reasons. Like
Yeah,
Hyper Librarian was a staple before on the ban list before we went into Master Roll 4. For the fact it was just so good at like drawing you cards from a synchro strategy. And
hmm
Trishula again, it's just a very old, powerful synchro card that could be used and abused because of card like one of the what example common card desync brings everything you synchroed out way back out to the field and puts the synchro monster back in the extra deck. Just reach in for it
yeah.
and you're ripping instead of ripping just the free cards, you're ripping six in total, two out of the hand, two in the field, and two in the grave. Like that's
hmm
just like Trish is just a strong card because it doesn't require the free cards to actually be fulfilled. It just hits them at your choice.
Yeah.
Unlike
Do you,
three
do you
Just
three.
know?
like,
Do you know what? Do you know what my perspective is on it? Right? Like, I agree with you. Like, despite the fact that I love Trishula, it was hit on the ban list for a very good reason. I mean, like, Trishula was like, well, I say modern day, but it's like it was the modern day Yu-Gi-Oh equivalent of like the delinquent duo hand loop.
yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
was just it was unfair. It wasn't even gaining you advantage. It was just depleting the opponent's resources at very little cost to yourself, which isn't fun and it's not very fair. I mean, if you manage to resolve Trishula, I'd say maybe 3 out of 5 times, maybe 4 out of 5 times, the opponent's not coming back from it.
Yeah.
Because it
I mean,
picked
you're
apart
opening
the
five. I
cards
mean,
too well.
if you take two out of their opening five, they're drawing up to 4 cards. I mean, what resources do they have to really go off and combat that?
hmm
Mm.
So, yeah, good reason. I mean, it's sort of two-minded because I can see why the preemptive hits on the tuner monsters, for example, were done, as was said. But at the same
Hmm.
time, I would have at least liked a format to see how they get on.
Mm.
You know, that was sort of the promise with Master Rule 5. It's the fact that links are their own thing. You can go back to the way you liked Yu-Gi-Oh! But here's a few things we're not allowing you.
hmm
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously some players are going to be saltier than others. I mean, Blackwing players are going to be annoyed. ABC players are going to be annoyed. I think in a lot of cases, a lot of zombie players are going to be annoyed. a lot of generic synchro decks that just have a synchro engine are going to be annoyed.
The,
But I
the
mean,
one ice barrier player in the world.
the one ice barrier player is absolutely fuming right now, putting his boot through his kitchen TV.
Not even that. Like you see, like fine enough. They referenced the newer set. What was it? The rock-based one, Emancipator, is it, or
Yeah.
I
is that how you say it?
Adamantipator.
Like
Ada,
Emancipator.
Adamantipator. It's
Synchro
a
based, like
mouthful.
it's a synchro based deck. Like, and it actually does it really like it does it very well. Like, it creates a very lot of board presence to just keep going into all different synchros.
Mm.
And like, I would have said between its own boss monster that removes 5 cards off the board and Trish, like I do get why that like decks nowadays really shouldn't have access to more than one Trish,
Mm-hmm.
because like it is just so strong a card and a prevalent option. And even that, the stats on it are really quite good. Like, what was it? It's 2700 attack by no
It's
29.
27 by like 21 or something like that in terms of its stat line.
No, it's just his attack stat, because 9 times out of 10 is going into attack position. Two
What's
nines
yours?
is quite a strong
27.
number.
Mm.
Was it 27 or 29? 27.
It's,
27.
like even 2 7, 2 7's a really strong like
it's
number
big,
for an
big,
player.
big.
Like, but
big.
yeah.
You see, my
What
only
about
problem, my only problem about like kind of talking about Emancipator and that is that there is 3 rock tuners and they're all Emancipator tuners. I can't think of any other rock tuner in the game.
hmm.
I literally I don't I kind of don't think there are any. I'm not
Well,
sure.
there's the first, second, and third time for everything.
But to be fair, it's not about the tuners themselves. Like Trish is
Well,
Yeah.
generic.
yeah, but everything's level. Well, you could. I mean, you would have to
But
run
no, like
a strange monster. Like you'd have to run something in there that's really kind of a
yeah, but you're
strange
actually getting
level.
the top 5 cards every time to look for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What could you think of then? A level 3 giant soldier stone. No, the good one. Sentry.
Yeah, like at the end of the
You could.
day,
The
like
one that recurs.
because the actual effects of the monsters bring out any rock monster. It's not just brings out their own archetype rock monsters.
Yeah.
Like that itself just leads you to build, like you can build a very good like synchro tech box out of your entire extra deck from things
Mm.
like Trishula, Wing Synchro.
Mm.
I'm trying to think like old favorites like Star Eater, 1111. You know, it's just
Oh, good story here.
32 when it comes onto the board negates everything. I think it's no, it doesn't negate everything. I think it's just untargetable or something. I can't mind if
Yeah.
I Star off the top of my
Your
head.
opponent.
I'm completely wrong.
I don't think your opponent can activate anything when it attacks or something shit like that. Or is that Trident? Like, I can't remember.
Can't
No,
be.
Right.
like
Well, good.
Synchro summon cards and effects cannot be activated. So nothing can be activated in
Yeah.
response to its
like,
summon essentially. And it can't be negated.
like
Summon
there is
can't be
enough
negated.
level.
That's pretty
There is
good.
enough, there is enough level diversity within rocks to make just them free tuners work.
Yeah. You
You
also
know,
have searchability too. Like it's not even just the
like
Adamantipator. You've got like Gallant, that Granite guy.
uh,
You've got other bits. It's like I like what they've done for Rock Monsters. They kind of give it a lot. Like there's a lot now. That's the thing. I was like, there are archetypes that Yu-Gi-Oh do that have gotten like 0 support, and at least they're kind of starting to get around to some of them.
Volcanics.
Sure, have
well,
you seen
no,
that
but
guy
what
that's
if we're
posting
going
in
to
the
go back
comment
to
section?
last year? Like the next one on that left thing is totally awesome. Down to one.
It did,
That is
do that. I'm
fair, I
sorry.
think, though, because
Burr, burr,
you're
burr,
getting
burr.
Bahamut Shark back at its full power, so essentially rank 4s
Yeah.
don't have access to Toad.
Yeah,
Bye bye, Toad. You
But this
you were
isn't
you
3
were
years
annoying,
ago.
and I hate you.
This isn't 3 years ago. Totally Awesome is not the most oppressive boss monster on the planet.
It's not.
Not anymore, anyway.
You know, I mean, like 2 toads on the board, incredibly irritating, especially with a Miss Starboy or something. Or that, the new one that's good for aquas and water monsters. The Link.
Abyss Glacier.
Is it
IP
the
Masquerena? Is
Oh,
that it?
well, no, Abyss Glacier would be the only thing I could think of.
Right, that's one thing though. Like two toads and something else.
I can't remember what would be.
It's a shit.
Anyway,
You know, I mean,
what's
Paleo has
next?
always like been like a rogue deck at best.
Yeah,
I mean, it's topped a couple of things, but you know, it's not as if it was oppressive or anything. And Master Rule 5 is not going to make Paleo the top tier deck.
and on that
I mean,
note, Master 05 is not going to make Dryden a top. Like, I'll say Dryden, I mean
Yeah.
Zoo, but it doesn't mean Dryden isn't going to be top tier anymore, which is nicely rolled into the next one. What do you think about Dryden coming back to one?
don't care.
I think it does nothing.
I think it does
Um,
absolutely damn all.
But again,
I love.
it does nothing again because Zodiac Barrage went to 1.
Oh,
Yeah, but they have Tenki as well, which sort of it was like
It's
they
like
had 6
again,
Tenki's essentially
Zodiac
for their
Barrage
deck.
is
Which,
further down this list, but again, it ties into this one. Like Dryden does nothing at 1,
no.
no,
especially when you take Barrage away to 1. It's like it
If they would
makes
have kept Barrage, if they would have kept Barrage, it would have been fine.
yeah.
If they would have put Broad Bull, they won, you could maybe have a problem. But like, that's kind of it. Broad Bull is the best card
I'd
because it
say
starts Swaptail.
I'm not going to jump the gun and say the next ban list, but like within the next 2 or 3, I think Dryden will be unbanned.
Yeah.
Because I think it's one of those things where a deck has had its time, it's been power crept out, it's not relevant anymore. It'll be a half decent tier 3, 2 rogue strategy at best. Just leave it alone. It'll be fine. It'll come off eventually.
Mm.
yeah,
What's
Or it might
next?
even be erratic, you never know.
Well, that
What's
would bring
next?
us down to the instant fusion.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's a
Enough said.
yeah.
Enough said.
Instant
That's
fusion.
fine. Mind control next.
Mind
Again,
control, I think it's fair as well.
mind control, like especially now with the fact of lifting the restriction off of XYZs and synchros. Mind control is just a good card again because you can
You know
steal your
what?
and make your good things.
Do you know what I think solidified mind control's demise? Was your wee kid that won like the last tournament where he just mind controlled the guys like Appaloosa and that was it. I was just like, okay, you win.
Big bait.
Oh, your man was playing Salad and it was just like, mind control. I think it was Ash, big rocky stumpy guy, Nibiru, and like something else. He didn't even open like a salad monster, I don't think, and just was like dead. So mind
Do
control
you know
can
what?
stay there.
I'll see your mind control and I'll raise you a crackdown.
But yeah, and again, and
Because
we've
you know
talked about Barrage as well.